You know, I can't help but wonder if this paleo diet isn't sponsored by Lipitor. It seems to tell people what they want to hear, that eating meat is a good idea. On the plus side, if you've given up all dairy products because of the paleo diet, that's a great thing. We were never meant to consume milk. It took me decades to realize that the overconsumption of animal-based food products is basically the root cause of most of our chronic diseases. It's essentially the cause of our healthcare crisis. Now, don't believe me, there's a great 2011 documentary out called Forks Over Knives. I highly recommend anybody considering the paleo diet or just about any other diet watch this. Lately, Runner's World has been pumping and spamming the paleo diet book quite aggressively. It almost seems like irresponsible journalism to me for them to push that. Evidently, they don't understand what happened to running icon Jim Fixx. You can read about that in John Robbins' book called Healthy at 100. I think it's about page 150 or 160. You can find out what meat consumption did to his coronary. Anyone who is already on the paleo diet or considering it should give some serious consideration to reading John McDougall's book called The Starch Solution. Dr. McDougall has 44 years of medical experience. His expertise is in the area of getting people off their medications. He uses diet to do that, and he's got decades of incredible results from doing it. Now, it's been common knowledge for decades that cholesterol is the root cause of coronary artery disease. I believe that's still the #1 killer of Americans. Plant foods have zero or very close to zero cholesterol in them. So obviously the paleo diet is very high on recommending meat consumption. This doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I think it's also important that we consider that coronary artery disease is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of the problems caused by overconsumption of animal-based proteins, meat, dairy, eggs, etc. Dr. McDougall has a strong success rate in helping people not only with heart disease, but also cancer, diabetes, obesity, and even autoimmune diseases. It turns out that what's best for our bodies is also the best thing for the global ecosystem as well. Dr. Ruth Heydrich's story is featured on page 55 in this book. Her story is fascinating because 30 years ago, Ruth was a marathoner, super healthy, and she was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. And prior to chemo, radiation, and a surgery to reduce estrogen production, she fortunately met Dr. John McDougall, author of The Starch Solution. And he convinced her to completely change her diet, cold turkey, to 100% plant-based. And she immediately experienced great results, put her cancer into complete remission. So spontaneous remission is a phrase that Dr. McDougall is very familiar with. He's had quite a few patients experience this by simply using food as medicine. And we're not talking about meat. The Starch Solution shows you how to completely satisfy your appetite completely for life while keeping you strong, lean, and healthy. Carbs are actually good for you. Find out why. Read Dr. McDougall's book. What we don't eat is just as important as what we do eat. What's most important is that we eat as many plant foods as possible, minimally processed. Non-GMO is important, and organic, of course, too, if at all possible. Page 8 of the Starch Solution, you can see what the real Paleolithic diet is all about. The 6 foods that have been our primary fuels have been barley, corn, millet, potatoes, rice, and wheat. The excesses from a diet high in animal-based food sources raises the pH of our blood. This in turn causes our bodies to develop arthritis and osteoporosis. Essentially what it does is cause people to urinate their skeletons out of their body. During the Paleolithic age, 200,000 to 2.5 million years ago, the average life expectancy is estimated to be maybe 30, 35 years. So just because we can eat meat 21 times a week doesn't mean we should. The USDA recommends adult men and women consume approximately 33 to 71 grams of protein per day. A plant-based diet, 100% plant-based diet, will easily give us this much protein. I don't know anybody suffering from a lack of protein. The Atkins diet, which I know is not the same as the Paleo diet, suggests 200 to 400 grams of protein per day. That's essentially toxic to humans long term. The Paleo diet recommends low or no starches in the diet. Actually, starches provide the perfect balance of protein, fat, carbs, vitamins, minerals. Everything you need is right there. I do endurance sports, triathlons, ultra marathons, and so forth. I've now been on a 100% plant-based diet for nearly 2 years, and I get everything I need. I feel the best I've felt in 20, 30 years. And I take an occasional B12 supplement just for insurance. Okay, I'm not going to beg you to take care of yourself, and I'm not going to beg you to read the Starch Solution. I'm just going to suggest that if you take the time to really listen to your body, it's probably telling you it's craving healthy motion, and it's probably telling you it's desperate for the right quantity and quality of nutrients. The answers are right here. Good luck. I hope you check it out.